Okay, we have some people who've already joined us, so that's great. Wonderful. Welcome to our Live at 5. We're so glad that y'all have joined us today. We'll just give you a couple more seconds before we can get started here, but we're here at the Home ASAP office, and our office is located on the 4th floor, so we have this lovely view behind us for you to enjoy while we have our little chat today. And I am Sabrina Harris. I'm the marketing content coordinator here at Home ASAP, and I am very honored to be joined today by John Marshall, our CEO. So welcome, John.
Thank you, Sabrina. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, thank you for coming, and thank you for being here for our Live at 5. And thank you to all of you who are with us today, with us right now. I'm super excited about this very large number we have. So I hope you have a nice cup of coffee or a delicious beverage to enjoy while we have our little chat. But I wanted to kind of kick it off by welcoming you, John, again to our Live at 5. And also, let's start off with a fun question. So I have been hearing word on the street is that you are quite the avid cyclist. Is that true?
I am. It's been a passion of mine for the last 5 years.
Okay. So I would like to know what, on average, how often do you bike, or how often do you cycle?
If the weather permitted, I could cycle every day of the week.
Wow.
And I do quite a bit of cycling almost every day.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. Now, what would you say, do you know the total number of miles that you cycled last year?
I do, and it's kind of amazing to me even to think about it. It was over 10,000 miles.
10,000?
Yes.
10,000! Did you all hear that? 10,000 miles? Oh my goodness. This is definitely motivating me to get out there and get exercising. So that's amazing. You must really love it.
I do, and we're very fortunate living in Northeast Florida that we've got wonderful areas to cycle, beautiful flatlands, and a lot of fun, a lot of nice people that I've met doing it. So it's a great sport, and it's been a great passion of mine for 5 years.
That's awesome.
It's been great.
That's so great. Wow. Very cool. So we are going to segue from cycling into Home ASAP and what we do, and we want to, there's a hot topic question that's currently on the table, and I know that you've been asked this a lot. We hear it all the time here, but that is the increasing interest rates. How is that affecting today's housing market?
Well, if you look at the numbers, it doesn't seem to have an impact yet, but it certainly has been increasing the costs to borrowers. Rates have gone up substantially in the last really just month or two, and it is going to have an impact, obviously, particularly for the moderate and lower income people that have to finance their purchase, and that higher interest rate translate directly into a higher mortgage payment, which at the current inflation and values of properties, that's the last thing they need is another increased cost. So it is a concern that with rates rising that it's going to affect affordability. And it doesn't seem to have affected the higher end of the market as much, but certainly in the moderate and lower income starter home market, along with the shortage of supply, it's made it very, very challenging for home buyers.
Right, yeah. So what type of encouraging words would you share with our audience here today, all of our real estate agents who are joining us in regards to the changing kind of housing market?
Right. Well, I think, trying to find a ray of sunshine in these kind of numbers, which overall you might think, wow, that's going to create real headwinds going into this year with higher rates, prices at all-time high, inventory at all-time low. It's like, my goodness, where do we find optimism in that formula? Yeah. And I think the main thing is, as certainly housing values have increased tremendously, people still are sitting on a lot of equity, and to the extent if they do want to sell, obviously they're going to be realizing a tremendous gain on their property. The challenge obviously is finding the next property if they're moving into a new property. But if as these higher rates may start to slow down some of the real estate activity, you might see some more buyers come in, or sellers come into the market wanting to take advantage of the high prices before they decline. And because right now you could say maybe they're peaking, and if home price increases decelerate, maybe some sellers will come off the fence and
Yeah.
want to come into the market now thinking that they don't want to miss the peak value.
Right.
And so that's one factor. But the other positive aspects, of course, unemployment's way down. The economy's continuing to
Yeah.
recover from the COVID recession. And so I think that that's going to be another factor too, is that incomes are rising, and that's going to help more buyers come into the market and look for homes.
Absolutely.
So the main issue is going to be obviously supply, and so to the extent an agent can help their buyer win that competitive bid, I think those are the kind of skills that are going to help those agents succeed and help their buyers win that competition for a home.
Yeah.
But the more important thing is, if you've got clients that may be on the fence about selling, now is the time to get them to pull the trigger, because it looks like those home values may start to decelerate.
Okay.
And you don't want to miss the peak of the market.
Absolutely.
Where you can really sell your home fast and on your terms, because in the seller's market, you can dictate the terms.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great wisdom. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And thank you all again so much for joining us. I do want to kind of conclude our Live at 5 with a fun question. And can you share a fun fact about yourself? We know that you're an avid cyclist. It could be anything to do with that, or...
Well, I have to say, just to kind of give you a proof point of what cycling has done for my life, when I started, within the first year or so, I lost over 45 pounds. And I didn't feel like I was a big guy to begin with.
Yeah.
And but the other thing, too, is what got me into it is it was part of a charity event that got me motivated to train for it. It was a 2-day event supporting the Multiple Sclerosis Society here in Jacksonville, and it's 150 miles in 2 days, so you better train or you won't make it. So that was the motivation, but what it did is it really kind of got me back on track health-wise. And I do early morning rides. It's a great way to start the day. It clears your head. You think about things, meditate. It gives you a great start to the day, and I think it kind of balances you to attack all the challenges that come up in the day. So I would recommend, whatever your passion is, to go out there, enjoy it, find a way to do it. I mean, obviously an outdoor activity during the pandemic was great because you didn't have to worry about that. And so, but that's a big factor, is always, maintain that balance of hard work, but hard play, to keep your mind and spirit in good balance.
That's right. Yeah, that's great advice. So thank you so much for sharing that.
Sure.
And that definitely motivates me to get up early in the mornings and get my workout in. So
get it done early. That way the rest of the day won't get in the way.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for joining us today for our Live at 5. Yes. And thank you all for joining us. We have had a great time with you here at our home ASAP office, and we're looking forward to seeing you again virtually next week to kick off your Thirsty Thursday happy hour. We'll be right here on our Facebook page at 5 o'clock, and we have a special guest coming, and so we want you to submit any questions that you might have in the meantime. You can submit it right on this video right now, or you can submit it after we conclude this video. And we would love to talk about anything that's kind of, any questions that are burning that you are dying to know about, or want more wisdom shared. So I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us today.
Thank you, everybody, for joining.
Yes, and we hope that you have a wonderful rest of your Thursday, and we will see you next week.